Okay.
Sorry about that. We are sweating out. Happy Martin Luther King Day today, by the way. We are sweating out early action in all sports. I didn't even know it. I was watching the inauguration all morning. Didn't know NBA was kicking off at noon or something. NHL had a couple early games. Yeah, we are sweating out a Sabres. It's not going to hit, but a Sabres Kraken game right now. In the NHL world. But big day today, big night tonight, an hour away. We're starting this live a little late, and we won't go super late with this game starting here. But National Championship, Ohio State, Notre Dame, big game getting played in Atlanta, Georgia. Again for its second spot for the college football playoff. But yeah, Ohio State is an 8.5 point favorite. It sounds like the NFL playoffs so far with these ridiculous spreads for a national championship game. The over under of this game is 45.5. Besides this national championship game, I really don't have much. I know me and you are both on Villanova, but that game is already currently live. There's a little NBA tonight, little NHL tonight, but I guess a primary focus of this live is just to quickly talk and run down this national championship game. I know me and you, Ethan, are a little locked up on some futures here and don't know how involved we're going to get on this game. I have to have a couple bets just because I'm an idiot and require myself bets every day to survive. But I don't have as much as I normally would in a national championship game. I bet the Super Bowl pretty heavily. I usually bet the college football national championship pretty heavily with multiple units at stake. And I just don't think that's going to be the case tonight. It's going to be a little difficult as well with a 8.5 point spread. And there's a Kraken empty netter 10 seconds later.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Ethan, what are you thinking about tonight's game?
Yeah. One thing I will just say, like you said, yeah, we are both on Georgetown. I got
Georgetown, sorry.
+8.
Yep.
Yep. Are you +8, 8.5, somewhere in there?
I got 8. Yes, 8 flat.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So anyone that wants on Georgetown, they are currently down. Villanova just hit a 3. They are down 4 points. You can get it live. So yes, we were both on that. Also, just to reiterate, Happy Martin Luther King Day. Happy Inauguration Day. I think even if your person is not in the White House, it's still important that we still have a vote as of right now. And then most of all, happy National Championship Day. It's just a loaded Monday. But yeah, not a ton outside of the national championship tonight. Obviously, NBA is basically done. Cashed on the Pistons. So that was nice. That was no sweat. Had +8.5. One outright. Yeah, don't have any hockey going after the Sabres. Well, I guess I can talk one hockey play. Yeah, no college basketball. So yeah, just looking forward to the Natty.
Yeah, so this national championship, what's your hockey lean before we dive into this NHL or college football?
Yeah, I like and I might stay off it because I think some sharp action is on Toronto, but I like Tampa. And basically talked about this on Saturday morning on our live. So if you were present there, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But basically, kind of the reason for liking Tampa is they're starting their first game of a 4-game road trip. They did just get 2 wins at home, so I think they're kind of motivated to hit the road. They're all kind of feeling good about themselves. Want to get off with a good victory on the road trip, and they do play Toronto, Montreal, Chicago, Detroit. I know both Montreal and Detroit have been playing well lately, but the Maple Leafs are the class of that road trip, and it would just be a huge win for them to get off on the right foot with a win against Toronto. And then meanwhile, you do have Toronto, who just had a kind of a one-off road game against Montreal. They won 7-3. They're on a 2-game win streak as well. They're home. Just think they could be a little bit overvalued after putting up 7. So I don't know. I'm, to be honest with you, probably going to stay away. But my strongest lean outside of Buffalo, which is now officially a loser, would be Tampa.
Yeah, NHL is it's tough right now. And like we mentioned on the live, we just got to change our betting mind a little bit. And I think that's going to be easier to do as with college football ending tonight, NFL only 3 games left there, so more focus can go on towards these other sports, which honestly have just gone on the back burner. Football is king. Football is where our passion and excitement, most of our excitement is. But with those winding down, we need to start, and I need to start diving a little bit more into NHL and figuring out just a better strategy to win some bets. But I am looking forward to that in the future. But yeah, no bets for me. I was on the Sabres. Should have just taken the freaking over that cash in the second period, but I stayed away from it and took the Sabres and was close for a second there, but not anymore. Let's talk about the national championship game. Real tough games. Do you still have a Ohio State future, or is that dead? You have Michigan.
I've never had an Ohio State
Okay.
future, and I'm kicking myself. I liked it all off season, and I just never did it. And really, my way of playing the future was the 5 unit play against Oregon. I was supposed to then roll that to their money line against Texas, and I bitched out of it. I ended up live betting Texas or Ohio State a little bit in that game, but nothing like I would have had I rolled over the 5 unit. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of in a weird limbo spot.
Yeah, and speaking of futures, I am now officially featured out in the NFL. I had the Ravens and the Lions, and those two teams have
Yep.
been eliminated. So futures are dead in the NFL, which is unfortunate, but we move on. So yeah, I thought for whatever reason, I thought you had Ohio State futures. So this makes your game a little more interesting. But like I said, I have Ohio State future that I took right after they lost to Michigan. Then I do have instead of taking the teaser of Detroit, Kansas City, Ohio State. I didn't want to jinx Detroit, so I took Kansas City and Ohio State. And thank God I stayed away from Detroit on that teaser. So I do have that one still alive. So I have, if Ohio State wins, I'll be in a pretty good position. So I do like, for anyone listening and watching, I do like, and I would bet Ohio State at the -8.5. But just since I have so much money locked up on Ohio State right now, I don't want to just putting a unit on this when I potentially can win like 8 units. What's another unit? And it's just, if it loses, I'll be kicking myself if I had lost 3 units on this. So, not going to bet the Ohio State spread, but that is where I lean. Where I have bet and will, I think, look to live is the over here. Instead of just taking the traditional over, DraftKings had a boost, and usually DraftKings boosts are like 3-leg same game parlays and they're traps, and I usually make them way more exotic than they have to be, and they're always losers. But this one on DraftKings is just it has to be plus 100 or better. So plus 100 or plus whatever higher than that. And again, if you do need a DraftKings account, we are friends with them over there. So if you need a sign up bonus deposit match, you can get the link in our bio as well there. But so I liked the over, but you couldn't find the over at plus 100 unless you went up a little bit to take an alt. So I did a little 2-legger, and I took Notre Dame over 16.5 team total points and Ohio State over 23.5 total points. That comes out to, I believe it was plus 150, boosted to plus 180, boosted to plus 176. So again, that's
Nice.
Notre Dame over 16.5 and Ohio State over 23.5. And that's how I attacked that bonus bet or that profit boost over on DraftKings instead of taking just the full game over. I also, and then, so here's my live bet. If what I think is going to happen in this game, I think it's going to, both fantastic defenses. Ohio State, I think, is a little bit better than Notre Dame, but Notre Dame also has a pretty solid defense. I think this game's going to start off a little slow. It's a national championship. It's a big stage. Both teams have never been here. None of the players have been here in their careers. Neither have the coaches. So I think it's going to be a little stressful, a little butterflies going on. The nerves will be kicking in. So I do think the game's going to start off pretty slow. Potentially a couple punts, potentially even a scoreless first quarter. So my move here is going to be the live over. And I think my number, again, when betting live, you should always have a number in your head that you want to take. If it never gets there, you don't bet it. And if it gets there, you can maybe wait, but that's where I'll probably pull the trigger. My number is 41.5. So if I get 41.5 on the total here, I'm going to take the live over of that. But like I said, I do think you might be able to get a scoreless first quarter, which could put the total up into the 30s. So that's going to be my live move in this game. Just have a little bit more action. Again, I am seeing just the regular line is pretty popular to take the over, and I am seeing potentially some sharp money on the under. But that's basically every single big game. There's always going to be public bets on the over, which then leads to sharper money on the under. But I think if you can wait a little bit, get a adjusted line live, then I think the live over should hit. I think both teams will get a little comfortable to the pace of play, the stage, and I do think they're going to start scoring as the game moves on. So that's going to be my play. I'm trying to get that line, like I said, under 42 points. 42 is a big number in football, in case you were unaware. So if I can get a 41.5, that's going to be my line to attack the live over in this game.
Yeah, I like that way of approaching it. Personally, I kind of lean the game under. So I do think we could get off to a slow start, and then I think the opportunity will be there to bet the over. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a huge. It's like a 51% lean on the under for me in the game, but yeah, I do. I wish I had Ohio State futures. I was the dumbass public guy who just money lied Kansas City, Detroit, and Ohio State. I also didn't have any dollars on Washington, like I said I would all week. So I'm the guy that everyone should blame for the loss. Also, public wins just 100% of the time until I'm part of the public, and then they always lose. So NFL is dead to me. We just lost Ben Johnson to the Bears 48 hours after. It's just I hate that sport. But yeah, I'm gonna be on Ohio State minus 8.5. I don't want to lay. You know, if I roll over what I have from the first two games, we're looking at like, oh God, probably 14 units or so. No, not quite that. 12 units. And I don't want to put that on Ohio State money line to win like 3. So I think I'm just going to do 2 or 3 units on Ohio State spread. Manage the risk a little bit and, also risk not winning it. But I do think Ohio State's the side. I think they end up pulling away late. Think they kind of have a no sweat fourth quarter to win this game by double digits. And kind of my favorite non-traditional play that I would give out, I like for Notre Dame that Jordan Faison, 34. Well, shop around. I'm looking at DraftKings. They do it kind of weird now with their receiving lines, but 34 plus receiving yards, it is minus 125. If you want to bump that to 40, it's plus 110. But he's been a big piece for them in their playoff run. And then if you go down to his receptions, for him to have 4 catches, it's minus 130. So they're thinking he's at least going to get 4. His longest reception is sitting at 18 at minus 115. So if he has a 18-yard catch, he'll need 16 yards on 3 more catches. So it's just not adding up there. Yes, you could take the over on the 18, but I don't love the value if you reverse that, saying, oh, he's going to have 4 catches, maybe only 34 yards. Now he has to have one that's 18. You could take the catches, but I think the best value for him would be the 34 plus receiving yards. I think, obviously, if he has a long reception, I think he hits that. So that's probably my best prop in the game that I would look towards. But yeah, I like Ohio State.
Do you have Bet Rivers?
I do.
Seeing Bet Rivers is this can't be right. It says 16.5 yards
for his receiving.
And everyone else is, like you said, DraftKings is 33.5, FanDuel is 32.5. Bet Rivers, according to Pickett right now, over 16.5. Jordan Faison receiving yards is minus 112.
Okay, well, hang on just 2 seconds. Player receiving. Faison. Nope.
Damn. What's he at?
34.5 is minus 1.
Damn. What line is this? Interesting.
Damn, I wish. I was about to hammer.
I was going to say, yeah, I just pulled it up to see the lines, and the first one says 16.5, and the second one's 19.5, which is minus 280. So I was like, who the hell is 16.5 at minus 112?
Yeah. I have $31.40 in my Bet Rivers, and it was about to all go on that, but
damn. Sorry to
no.
burst your bubble there.
No,
Yeah, I like that. I like that the explanation you have on that. And God, what is that line? I don't know. That's weird. Um, yeah, I don't hate that at all. My prop that I am looking to bet is Ibuka to score for Ohio State. I know Jeremiah Smith is obviously the best wide receiver, the most well known wide receiver, and also probably the most public bet tonight. But I think, and let me double check here. I think Ibuka is a junior, and he's going to leave. He's a senior. Okay, Ibuka is a senior. He's gone his whole career losing to Michigan. He now has a chance to play in the national championship game. He scored just one time in the playoffs against Oregon. I don't know. I think it's going to be Ibuka's day to score. I don't like his yards at all, but I think he is going to be my one touchdown scorer if I were to bet a touchdown score. I'm seeing best odds available. FanDuel has him at plus 145. Same thing with MGM has Ibuka at 145. So he is probably going to be my go-to guy to score. I also don't hate it, but again, pretty popular public is Henderson to score. He's plus 110. 1 second. I got to go shut this door real quick.
Yeah, to piggyback on what he was saying, I do also like Ibuka to have a big day, so I would look at him to score as well. Not sure what the odds were if he gave those out. Let's see. Yeah, plus 125 on Ibuka. Yeah, I like the Ibuka play.
Sorry, my apartment door doesn't like latch shut anymore unless you deadbolt it, and she didn't lock the door. So like the bottom person opened the door and it opened the story door, and my dog was gonna run out there. But yeah, I like Ibuka and I like Henderson are my two Ohio State guys. For Notre Dame, I mean, I'm not gonna be upset if you pick Jeremiah Love and Riley Leonard. I'm probably not gonna. I am not gonna bet it, but I wouldn't be too upset. I mean, I can't argue against not betting those guys.
Yeah. I mean, how healthy is Love? That's my fear. I don't think he's healthy.
He had a crazy touchdown in that Penn State game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, he has that knee brace and that explosiveness is gone.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I could see Riley scoring.
Right.
I don't trust Riley to do a touchdown pass with his arm.
No. I'm sure Great House is going to be extremely public to score.
Yeah, who the hell is that guy?
He kind of came out of the woodwork there against Penn State.
Is he the backup running back?
No, he's that receiver that diced up Penn State. I think he's a freshman, maybe.
Great House. Wow.
He had 7 catches, 105, and a touchdown.
Jesus. Yeah, every other game, 2 for 6, 1 for 8.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. Had 36 catches, 464 yards, 2 touchdowns on the season. So before you go jump on the Great House train.
That makes sense. I was on TikTok live before this, and everyone's talking about Great House, Great House, Great House. If you ever want to bet to fade, just go to the comments of anyone on TikTok live, and that's the bet to not take. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't really watch that. I was at a bar watching that Notre Dame Penn State game, so was watching it, but not like you couldn't hear it, and
right.
So yeah, Damon. But that makes sense. I was like, who the hell? I've never heard of this guy before, so that makes sense. Yeah, don't bet him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. Don't think he gets it done.
If you had to give a score prediction on this game, what would your correct score be?
I think we're somewhere in the and this could be similar to last year. I think it could be like 31-10, 31-13.
Yeah, mine was 31-17, but it would only make sense that my team total to get screwed by Notre Dame.
Yeah. I could see it like 10-17 at the half, and then Ohio State score first to get a cushion. Maybe a field goal by Notre Dame, another touchdown by Ohio State to kind of put it away. And what was last year's score? I know it was close.
34-13.
Yeah.
God damn it. I kind of want a correct score bet. I'm thinking, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm right around there. I'm right around Ohio State in the 30s, Penn State in the low teens, up to 17.
yeah,
But I just never think. I mean, I don't think I'll ever hit a correct score bet, and the odds are never going to be good enough. But
right. The issue when I did it for Michigan last year is it was fun until the math starts not mathing.
yeah, until
Like,
you need like a safety, a couple
right,
safeties in there.
right. When you're like, well, now I need the missed extra point and 3 field goals, and yeah, that was
Yeah,
my issue with it. Like, I was so close. I think I did 31-13, or no, 31-17. I don't know. I was close, but it got to the point where, like, in the fourth quarter, I was like, well, I think Washington would have needed 2 safeties to get 4 points to go from 13 to 17. It was just not feasible.
that
So
is the worst.
maybe just take like a half unit, break it up into like multiple tenths of a unit, and hammer multiple that are all very close, so you don't get in that predicament.
Yeah, that probably would be the best move. But we're not. I'm not a smart man. God, I don't know. I don't know what I want. There's been some crazy scores in the national. Actually, I was looking at these last 10 national championships. I'll ring them off to you guys. Also, if you guys are superstitious at all or worry way too much about stats that don't matter at all, but have an even number and it makes you feel better, Ohio State won 10 years ago national championship for their first year ever of the 4-team playoff. Now, 10 years later, they're back in it for the first ever 12-team playoff. Again, if you're into that, that's a thing to look at. But here's the last 10 national championship scores. Every single game has been above 47. It's been the lowest. Starting in 2015, 42 to 20, 45 to 40, 35 31, 26 23, 44 16, 25 42, 24 52, 33 18, 7 to 65. Shout out TCU. Shout out losing $1,500 on that ticket. And then 13-34. So there's been some really weird scores. Like there's not any 28-14s in there.
Yeah,
So I would say if you are in the correct scoring market, don't be afraid to get a little crazy. If you have like I said, I like 31-17, but what if I did like a 33-16? I don't know. Maybe that would hit.
right.
I don't know.
I might play around. I just found one though that I got to bring up here. I kind of like, and it's going to start here with a question. How much separation do you think there is between Jeremiah Smith and Egbuka?
Separation as in player,
Just yeah, I just potential in this
like in the
game, I guess, and
in the game. Yeah, I mean, the potential I think is higher for Jeremiah just because he can go off. But I think if you're just going on who's going to have a better game, I think the easy answer would be a Buka there.
so the reason for asking, because I think it's almost like a T Higgins Jamar Chase, where Higgins could go off one game and Jamar the next. MVP of this game, Jeremiah Smith plus 340, Egbuka plus 1600.
Wow.
If there's 31 points, Egbuka scores 2 of them, 2 tutters, a rushing
Okay.
touchdown, and you're in. I don't hate
Hmm.
it. I wouldn't take Jeremiah Smith at plus 340. I don't get it.
No.
There's way too many weapons on that team to isolate him that high.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. Plus 1600. Yeah. What's Will Howard? The
Minus
highest?
105.
Yeah. I feel like they gave it to a quarter. Oh, they gave it to Mikey Sanderson last year.
Yeah.
What about
That's
what's
that guy, by
Sawyer?
the way.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Should have drafted him.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's Sawyer for MVP or Downs or
Dude, that would be cool.
Simon?
Yeah,
I
I
want
might bet
Simon on the
Simon.
Lions.
I love him. I want him. Damn, you can't even bet those guys. At least on this. I'm gonna go check our friends at DraftKings here. Hopefully they give it to us.
I can't even look because my books don't offer player props in this shithole of a state I'm in.
Player specials. Is that where I'm gonna find this? No. No. Hmm.
That was on FanDuel, the first one?
Yeah.
FanDuel always has those good ones.
Yeah, let's see. And they've got to have an MVP of the game, right? I don't think they do.
Bastards.
Damn. I wonder what they don't have any. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I could see a massive defensive performance though, like you said. Like I could see Simon having 3 sacks and a pick.
Dude, he's so good.
He's
I don't know
so
where he came from.
Yeah.
I didn't notice him at all but like I've noticed him every single game of the playoffs. He's unreal.
Yeah. His lateral movement is exactly what Detroit
I wonder
needs.
what his projected draft spot is. Because if we could snag him, what's our draft? Well, we don't really know, but
We'll be
high 20s.
Yeah. 20 mid to high 20s, 27, 28 probably.
God,
Yeah, that
I
kid's
like him.
unreal.
I like him quite a bit.
Yeah.
I can't stand Sawyer, and Caleb Downs is good, but Caleb Downs is pretty good, but he won't be there at 28 or whatever.
Right. I was literally thinking that today. That's funny you bring that up. I was thinking I would like Downs, but there's no way we get him. Looks like his rating is late second. No, early third.
Wow, that'd be a great pickup, especially if we get rid of Glenn in the process to get another third.
Wait, maybe not.
Damn.
No, maybe not. I read that. Oh, it's worse. Fourth. Number 114, ninth of his position. When was this? Who knows? I don't know if that's accurate. That was probably before the playoffs, I would have to imagine, because he looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. All right. Do you have anything else you want to touch on here? This game's starting in, well, it says 7:30, but it's probably gonna kick off at 7:50. But quick recap. I have futures on Ohio State and a last leg of a parlay on Ohio State. So I'm not gonna double down on Ohio State spread or money line, but I do think Ohio State wins this game. I do think Ohio State covers this game. I do like the over. But my best bet, if you do want to take the over, I would say wait a little bit, at least a couple possessions. Hopefully it goes scoreless or a couple or field goals, I guess. And then you can take a better line at the live over, I think would be your best bet if that's what you want to do. And then in regards, my correct score for this game, I'm going to lock in 33-13 is my correct score that I'm locking in for $5 on FanDuel plus 49,000.
Love it. Love it.
How do you even get 33? I have no idea.
I'm locking in 31-13, and I'm sure it'll be 34-13 once again, but I'm doing it. I'm betting Ohio State minus 8.5. I think they do enough here to cover. We talked about it briefly at the front of the show, but Wyatt and I are both currently on Georgetown +8. They are about to be losing at the half by 5, or depending on if someone makes a late shot here, there's 21 seconds. So more than likely you can get Georgetown at a better number. I still really do like Georgetown here. Yeah, they're down 7 now with 4 seconds. So I would potentially, if you like it, live bet Georgetown at half. I like Jordan Faison for Notre Dame over 34 receiving yards. Egbuka to score. I know Wyatt, you liked that and kind of got me on it. Potential Egbuka MVP plus 1,600 on FanDuel. Go Buckeyes. Cody Simon to Detroit.
I hate to say it, but I'm right there with you. Go Buckeyes. Need it for the future. Need it to not pay my bookie this week. But good luck, guys. Let us know in the comments who you guys are taking in this game. Hopefully, you guys can all win some money. And like I said, with the end of college football and only 3 games left in the NFL, me, Ethan, and Ben are going to get more involved on these other sports, including NHL, college basketball, NBA, MMA, UFC. So if you do want more information and more previews and more videos on those sports, check out our page at Better and Green for more bets and previews in that kind of stuff over there. But we appreciate you guys. Good luck tonight, and we will see you for our NFL episode. Go ahead.
One last thing, just to if for those out there that didn't know how much betting means to me, the last 2 national championships I've said go blue and I've said go Buckeyes, wearing the Michigan State. So there you go.
Hey, Michigan State basketball looks great. So you got that. You got that.
Well, not if you look at Illinois Twitter.
What's going on? Oh, the
That was
fouls
the
and
rough
stuff.
show.
Yeah.
Which
I didn't watch the game, so
yeah, it's biased. Izzo does get some calls, but I justify it by he's earned the right.
Yeah, that's fair. He's the last Big Ten coach to win a natty. We got to give him some sort.
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate you guys. Good luck tonight, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.